Israeli scientists have identified a previously unknown type of ancient human.
Ramle findings are the missing piece in the puzzle that can help us explain in human evolutionary history.
This previously unknown group may have coexisted alongside modern human beings.
All right, just squat it down.
This cemetery is a small part of the entire archaeological heritage of the Gaza Strip. You have to imagine that the entire Gaza Strip, at least along the coast, is a huge archaeological site.
Israel has a long habit of making headlines around the world. But you won't believe what was discovered there this time. From forgotten mysterious relics to demonic beings. Here are some of the most incredible discoveries in Israel that shocked the whole world. Largest Roman cemetery. During a housing project in Gaza, workers uncovered a hidden treasure, a Roman-era cemetery dating back 2,000 years.
Palestinian archaeologists have found another big lead at the Gaza Roman cemetery. They've discovered 4 tombs and 2 coffins made with lead.
They discovered 135 graves, all remarkably preserved. 2 of these coffins caught the workers' eyes. One of them had beautiful leaf designs and the other had images of dolphins on it.
This discovery is more than just an archaeological achievement and a testament of the ancient history of the Gaza Strip and the people who lived here.
This is an interesting visual in itself, but once archaeologists dived deeper, they discovered the coffins were made of lead, an extremely rare finding. Archaeologists believe they belong to an influential figure who was placed in a lead coffin to honor their position. But that's not all. This Roman-era site is now known as the largest cemetery found in the area and is revealing a lot about the life of ancient humans. 4,500-year-old goddess statue. In the southern Gaza Strip, a farmer tilling his land in Khan Yunis stumbled upon an ancient treasure.
الشيخ حمود الأثري بمدينة خان يونس والذي يرمز لأقدم حضارة إنسانية عاشت في مدينة غزة.
A limestone statuette over 4,500 years old. With tender craftsmanship, the stone bore the face of what is believed to be the Canaanite goddess Anat, who symbolized both love and war. This statuette isn't just a relic, it's a tangible connection to Gaza's earliest civilizations.
للمعبودة الكنعانية عنات وهي معبودة الحب والجمال.
The limestone material points to the local resources utilized by artisans of that period. Its meticulous design suggests a high level of skill and artistry. It also probes deeper into the religious and cultural beliefs of the ancient Canaanite civilization in Gaza. Mysteries unearthed in Galilee. In a quiet cave in Galilee, archaeologists from America and Israel found a 12,000-year-old grave.
Archaeologists say the finding is unprecedented.
The ancient tomb held a woman surrounded by unusual items: tortoise shells, gazelle horns, and a leopard's pelvis. Nearby, they found chalk and limestone fragments, a wild boar's forearm, and an eagle's wing. These strange finds suggest the woman might have been a shaman.
They suspect the body inside belonged to a female shaman who lived during the late Natufian era.
The items around her hint at a special burial ritual, showing she might have held an important place in her community. Archaeologists hint the same cave may unearth more graves, so they're actively working on the site. 12th Century Cemetery. In 2017, a significant find was made with the discovery of the first ever Philistine Cemetery.
Everything from their joys to their pain we'll be able to see in their bones, and this is going to be a great leap forward in our understanding of this group, the Philistines.
Archaeologists have been working on the area for over 30 years and had come up empty-handed until the discovery. This cemetery is regarded as one of the most incredible finds of the era. This is because clues about the lives of ancient Philistines were gathered from their living spaces and trade practices. So we didn't know much about them, but the cemetery offers a closer look at their lifestyle, health, and personal stories, shedding light on the Philistine culture in a way that wasn't possible before. Parts of human fossils. In northern Israel, on the slopes of Mount Carmel, A fossil discovery in 2002 reshaped our understanding of human history. Archaeologists unearthed a part of an upper jaw with teeth belonging to ancient ancestors going back millennia. The discovery was pivotal and takes us back to a time when our species first stepped into a wider world. Scientists initially believed our ancestors ventured out of Africa around 120,000 years ago, but dating suggests they might have traveled as nearly as 180,000 years ago, while the mass migration happened about 50,000 to 60,000 years ago. This fossil suggests small groups might have dared to explore beyond Africa much earlier. To think there were people roaming Earth thousands of years ago. Wow! Giant skeletons. In November 2022, someone posted a video on the internet where they claimed to have seen skeletons of giants lying around a hilly area. In the video, you can clearly see the skull of a behemoth and other bones like its rib cage and femur surrounded by smaller human bones. The video claimed this was proof that giants walk the earth. But the minute it was posted, the video owner was called out for spreading misinformation. Turns out the video was taken in Hawaii, and while it shows skeletons, commenters and were props for the movie King Kong.
Before we move any further, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon so you can keep watching our amazing content.
Oldest Hebrew text. In 2008, archaeologists in Israel unveiled a groundbreaking find, a pottery shard bearing the oldest Hebrew text ever found. It was found in the historic Valley of Elah, where David famously battled Goliath.
Our site clearly proved that already in the early 10th century BC, King David existed as a king.
The text, inscribed in black ink, had 5 lines that experts are yet to fully decipher. The carbon-dated inscriptions take us back 3,000 years, predating the Dead Sea Scrolls, which were previously considered the oldest text, by 1,000 years. This Hebrew text ties Jewish people to Jerusalem before the Arab connection and sheds light on ancient Hebrew culture. Salom Inscription. The Salom Tunnel in Jerusalem holds a lot of significance because it is believed to be used by King Hezekiah during a siege. Despite this, only a few have entered into the tunnel because it's extremely narrow, dark, and dangerous. Yet 16-year-old Jacob Elihu decided to venture inside the tunnel to explore. He had just entered when he slipped, accidentally pointing his candle to an old inscription. Archaeologists and historians rushed to the site after Jacob's discovery was made public. They discovered the inscription is an ancient 180-word Hebrew tribute to regular workmen and dates back 2,500 years. An ancient scroll. Just recently, amidst the barren desert caves of Galilee, Israel, an historic discovery unfolded. A team of researchers working to protect the cave against looters stumbled upon fragments of a biblical scroll and relics, which had surfaced from the sands of time.
Hidden with them were biblical treasures.
These ancient parchments, scripted in Greek with God's name in Hebrew, are believed to belong to Jewish rebels who fled to the Galilee hills after their revolt against the Roman Empire in the 2nd century failed. The site has been protected from public view, which prompts me to wonder what else could lie there. 9,000-year-old mask. In November 2018, a group of people exploring a field in the Israel-occupied West Bank discovered a clay mask.
It is a very, very exciting find for an archaeologist to hold in his hand.
Perfectly preserved against the cruelty of time. With a simple structure, the mask is believed to date back to the pre-pottery Neolithic B era, or at least 10,000 to 11,000 years ago. Interestingly, the mask is more than just a face coverer. Since we're still learning about the history and culture of ancient civilizations, the mask may give us exciting clues. Maybe it was a fashion trend at that time, or perhaps only a select few wore masks. There are countless theories, and I can't wait to hear when they're done researching.
The mask is part of the spiritual world of the Neolithics at that time. This is the period of the agricultural revolution.
Ancient swords. In Israel, archaeologists stumbled upon a 1,900-year-old weapons cache in an Ein Gedi cave near the Dead Sea. The discovery dates back 2,000 years and existed 50 years after the Second Jewish Temple's destruction.
Wow!
The incredible unearthing included 4 ancient swords and a Roman javelin known as a pilum. Despite dating back centuries, these swords are remarkably preserved, and their blades glisten even today. The discovery has sparked discussions among researchers, who for now lean towards the theory that these weapons were likely related to a war or a rebellion in Israel during the 2nd century CE.
So we research all the assemblage of weaponry. We assume probably that they were connected to some war or a rebellion that took place in the land of Israel.
2,000-year-old inscription. Jerusalem has a rich history, but we know little about its beginning until now. In 2018, Israeli archaeologists unveiled an ancient inscription dating back 2,000 years. Now, that is impressive on its own, since it revealed Hebrew text showing how ancient civilizations were engrossed in literature too. But there's something else that makes it special. The inscription reads, Hanani, son of Dedalus of Yerushalayim.
It says, Hananiah, son of Dedalus, from Jerusalem.
This gives us an insight into the city's history, since Dedalus was previously unknown. But that's not all. The word Yerushalayim is believed to be the first completed spelling of the city, and the first pronunciation. It is believed this word underwent multiple changes over the years, and transformed into the now Jerusalem.
His name and his father's name to be remembered, and he found it worthy to mention that he's originally from Jerusalem.
Roman entertainment room. In the quiet region of Gaza, archaeologists stumbled upon a 3rd century Roman ceramics factory, but with a little twist. Besides pottery remains and notable Gaza wine jars, the site housed over 20 pools of different temperatures, a complex heating system, and a possible game room, suggesting the site was used as an entertainment complex. Among the unique finds were board games etched in stone, probably Mancala, a 2-player strategy game. You know, most findings tell us how far we've come, but considering the Romans in Israel were taking breaks and playing between work centuries ago, I think they had the upper hand. 5,000-year-old city. Ever wondered what concrete jungles looked like centuries ago? In 2019, during roadwork near Harish, a 5,000-year-old city emerged from the depths, revealing a bustling Bronze Age settlement just 50 kilometers north of Tel Aviv. Named En Asor, this ancient city sprawled over 65 hectares, showcasing a blend of public buildings, residences, and a grand temple. Amazingly, what looks like stones to us might be the first city ever built in the Middle East.
It is much larger than any known site in the land of Israel and outside the land of Israel, in the regions of Jordan, Lebanon, southern Syria.
The resident layout reveals a well-planned urban setting with structured squares, streets, alleys, all encased within a protective fortification wall. It's incredibly hard to believe this architectural unearthing dates back 5,000 years. The architects who designed this were truly ahead of their times. Bantine Mosaic. While planting an olive tree in the Gaza Strip, Palestinian farmer Salom al-Nabab and his son stumbled upon an ornate Byzantine floor mosaic. As they dug further, they unveiled more sections filled with colorful depictions of animals and birds, unearthing one of the biggest Byzantine findings in the Middle East. Experts hailed this as one of Gaza's greatest archaeological treasures, because it's a rare peek into the life and art of the Byzantine era, showing the creativity and skills of the people from that time. Magela Synagogue.
The age of Magdala, which proved to be the ancient synagogue. It's actually off limits for visitors.
In 2009, archaeologists working near the ancient city of Magdala, or the modern Migdal, unearthed a synagogue. Named the Magela Synagogue, this place of worship revealed colorful frescoes and mosaics dating back at least 2,000 years. Among the findings was the Magdala stone, with carvings of a 7-branched temple menorah. A couple years later, in 2021, archaeologists unearthed another synagogue,
This is one of roughly 5 synagogues from this time period, 1st century AD, 2,000 years ago, Danny, the time of Jesus.
Just close to the first. This new finding was shaped by limestone and basalt and contained a main hall, 2 rooms, and takes us back to the Second Temple period. Roman Amphitheater. Little is known about the life of Romans in Israel, which is why this archaeological dig is considered one of the biggest and most significant in history. Dating back to the 2nd century, the Roman amphitheater discovered in Jerusalem was the first of its kind in the area, and features a massive stone structure carved with 200 seats. Despite being centuries old, the Roman amphitheater was remarkably preserved. Half-constructed stairs and etching on the wall revealed an architectural plan, suggesting it was still under construction when it was raised. It's like a step back in time. 1,800-year-old figurine. In 2015, in a former parking lot in Jerusalem's Palestinian neighborhood of Salom, Israeli archaeologists found an 1,800-year-old marble figurine amidst the ruins of the building.
We assume that it belongs to a certain group of weight that bear the figure of a boxer.
Destroyed by an earthquake in the 4th or 5th century, the 5-centimeter marble bust showing a man with a short curly beard and almond eyes, belonging to an athlete, possibly a boxer, and is believed to be a weight for a Roman hanging scale, with tiny holes in the neck for attaching. Unlike common bronze figurines, this marble one is unique and was possibly carried to Jerusalem by a merchant from far east of the Roman Empire. It's interesting how we're uncovering forgotten relics of the past. 1,600-year-old shipwreck. Divers off Israel's coast unearthed a 1,600-year-old shipwreck 30 miles off Caesarea, revealing a Roman-era trove. Among the buried treasures were anchors, water jugs, statues, and even a lamp dedicated to the Roman sun god Sol. Oddly, this ocean floor resting place likely preserved these artifacts, preventing them from rusting. What caught the eye were coins with faces of Roman rulers, helping experts date the wreck between AD 300 and AD 500. Though the ship's sinking tale is uncertain, it's believed a storm led it to crash against rocks, with the ocean floor becoming its final resting place. Marble artifacts. A swimmer off Beit Yana Mashav's coast in Israel made a rare find: 1,800-year-old marble artifacts from an ancient merchant ship. This old sea cargo carried beautiful Corinthian capitals, a decorative top part of a column, known for its ornate design, often showing leaves and flowers. It also featured a big marble beam up to 6 meters long. This discovery is special because it's the oldest known sea cargo of this kind in the Eastern Mediterranean. These artifacts, hinting at a grand building project, give us a peek into the ancient world's architectural elegance and the maritime trade routes that helped shape the region's history. Ancient wine press. Shipwrecks? Understandable. Ancient swords? Also makes sense. But unearthing an ancient wine press? Now that's an unexpected find. This 1,600-year-old press, hidden right under the noses of British military and later the IDF, hints at a bustling wine trade. Artifacts from the Second Temple period were also found, including a large Roman bathhouse, ritual baths, and various ceramic and glass vessels.
We discover here ancient remains dating to the late Roman period.
Evidence of the Roman 10th Legion's presence links the site to historical events, like the First Revolt and Jerusalem's subsequent destruction. I'm not the only one who finds this intriguing, right? Largest winemaking factory. It seems ancient folks in Israel love their wine just as much as we do, and a recent discovery in southern Israel only pours more truth into that. Before the city of Yav could broaden its horizons, Israeli archaeologists on a salvage excavation stumbled upon a grand winemaking factory dating back to the Byzantine era.
This area was one of the major centers of wine growing and wine production for international trade.
This wasn't just a backyard brew setup, it's the largest known complex of its kind from that era across the globe. The discovery momentarily halted the city's expansion, but in return, it uncorked a rich ancient viticulture legacy, offering a taste of bygone wine enterprises. Ancient Church of Bonas. In 2020, in northern Israel, a rare early Christian church surfaced from the depths of history. This ancient sanctuary, dating back to the Byzantine era, was built atop a temple dedicated to the Greek god Pan. The church features an open-air temple with Roman architecture and even has remnants of a small pool in the center. Archaeologists also unearthed Christian crosses across the mosaic floor and found a giant stone structure etched with crosses made by pagans who visited the temple. To think we're actually seeing signs of life from things buried in the past is quite intriguing. Ancient Gaza tunnels. Archaeologists took their tools to the part of Gaza bordering Egypt and unearthed a unique find, an ancient city or community comprised majorly of tunnels.
Our work is very dangerous here. We're very close to the smuggling tunnels. More than once we've had to evacuate because of Israeli planes bombing the tunnels.
Which connects the two Middle Eastern nations. Initial dating suggests the site is at least 2,000 years old, but the number could be much higher. The site unearthed many artifacts, including ancient coins, vessels, vases, pots, and pans. But the most interesting is the tunnels, which provide a direct glimpse into trade and culture at the time. It is believed that the tunnels led ancient smugglers into the city without being detected, and may have been used to fend off enemies. Interesting, right? 1,500-year-old church. In October 2019, Israeli archaeologists working 28 miles from Jerusalem dusted off soil from what appeared to be an ancient church, but turned out to be much more. The church consists of a main hall and various subsidiary rooms, dedicated to praying and even hosting pilgrims. Initial dating suggests the church was built by Christians in the early 6th century AD, during the reign of Emperor Justinian. So it dates back at least 1,500 years. Interestingly, archaeologists assume the church was probably dedicated to a glorious martyr of ancient Byzantine times. The church unearthed beautiful mosaics and colorful frescoes, and even animal carvings. A Crusader Sword. Is this the real Excalibur? An Israeli diver exploring the Mediterranean Sea recovered an ancient Crusader sword at least 900 years old. Historians believe a brave knight of the Crusaders carried the sword until his demise. The sword was encrusted with barnacles from the hilt to the tip of the blade.
Actually, it's heavy. Okay, it's heavy because of the stones that glue to it, and also because it's iron sword and very big one.
Despite being covered with barnacles, archaeologists believe the sword is in great condition because the unique crust simply protected its blade from rusting away. Of course, they have made it difficult to restore the sword, but they're slowly revealing stones and an impressively sharp iron blade. Gold coins. A bunch of teenagers volunteered at an archaeological site in Israel and ended up digging a trove of gold coins, dating to the Islamic regime in the 9th century. The gold coins were stowed in a pottery vessel, possibly belonging to a rich merchant. This isn't the first time Israel has unearthed gold coins. In 2018, gold coins dating back 2,000 years were discovered in Jerusalem, dating to the Roman period. The coins even have inscriptions reading, "To freedom." If you think that's impressive, wait till you find out another archaeological venture ended with the discovery of gold. This time, ornate jewels which were worn by the Roman priestesses and women some 1,800 years ago. Wow, talk about rich soil. 5,500-year-old gate. Just a few months ago, in August 2023, Israeli archaeologists uncovered an ancient gate close to Kiryat Yam. The gate is made of stone and mud and was enmeshed in the soil. The gate literally opened a door to other archaeological findings, as archaeologists discovered an entryway leading to the ancient city of Tel Irani. They also found vases and other artifacts, presumably kept close to the gate as sort of decor. The discovery gives us an interesting glimpse into urbanization that happened more than 5,000 years ago. 10,000-year-old house. Have you ever wondered what houses looked like before there were modern tools? Check out this Israeli settlement, which is more than 10,000 years old. While most archaeologists work hard to discover such a site, this discovery was a lucky accident.
Very large stone, I would say, worked on all 6 sides.
Workers in a stole unearthed the ancient house when they were working to widen a roadway. The discovery revealed a sectioned house separated into spacious rooms, some of which held unique artifacts that the Israeli Antiquities Authority is analyzing to identify. They even discovered knives and pots. Now that's an intriguing find. UFO. 2 years ago, residents of Hadria, an Israeli city, were terrified when they spotted an actual UFO flying in the air. Wow. According to witnesses, it happened sometime in the evening when the sun had already set out and a dense fog draped the area. Between the billows of fog and clouds, a bright light emerged and then revealed a 3-edged silhouette, kind of like a fidget spinner. Now you might think I'm pulling your leg, but just looking at this video suggests there is clearly something in the air. We might not be able to identify it, but it's definitely something concerning. UFO sighting. You'll be surprised to find out this isn't the first time a UFO was spotted in Israel. 12 years ago, residents of Jerusalem captured a bright orb just above the Dome of the Rock in the capital. Before you confuse the bright light with a lamppost, the bright orb was too high to be a light bulb. Here's a different, clearer angle. We can clearly see the bright orb descend down to the golden dome. Rest there for a few seconds, bright flash of light, and in the blink of an eye, it flew into the air and disappeared. Whoa! This could be a hoax, but considering the government has confirmed aliens exist, it might be an actual UFO. A scary siren. It's not just archaeological findings that surround the area. Some discoveries can chill you to your core. A group of fishermen were traveling along the Jordan River, casually traversing to their destination, when out of nowhere they began hearing sweet melodies. Initially believing it was coming from a nearby boat, the travelers soon realized they were the only boat out there. So, what they were hearing was coming from the water. One of them decided to record the sound on their phone.
We got another one over here? What are those?
And later uploaded it on the internet. The group claimed what they heard belonged to a mermaid, but they're not sure. What do you think? Kongamoto. Dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures went extinct centuries ago, long before we existed. But one viral footage suggests some creatures may still be lurking among us. The video features a Kongamoto flying between the trees. Kongamotos were a pterodactyl-like creature with large reddish leather wings. They roamed Earth millions of years ago and were wiped out at least 60 million years ago. After the video went viral, many were terrified, fearing the creature could be flying close by. But don't worry, this isn't a real behemoth coming to life, but really good CGI. Dragonfish. A group of fishermen were traversing the river, hoping to find a big catch. But what they caught was beyond their imagination. They pulled out a long, silvery sea creature with a red fin-like structure lining its body. They believed it was a type of dragonfish, one of many mythical creatures that could roam the earth. But this isn't a remnant of dragons. This is an oarfish, and is a considerably common find. But you know what makes it truly scary? Legend dictates oarfish only appear before natural disasters, and are harbingers of destruction. Oof, I'd like to stay away from this. Jinn. A group of amateur explorers decided to venture inside a cave. Inside, they came across a rock structure with a little gap for breathing. The explorers could hear slight movement inside, so they decided to poke around. We see a glimpse of a black human-like creature, but it quickly disappears from view. Many believe the creature is actually a jinn, a demonic being, who according to Muslims can take any shape it wants and walks among us, but hides itself behind a cloak of invisibility. Many claim this is the true face of a jinn, and considering the narrow space, I'm inclined to believe this. humanoid creature. A man was out on an early morning jog when he spotted a mysterious creature on top of a hill. The creature was doing push-ups, so he believed it was just another jogger working out. But then he noticed something weird. The mysterious creature was unexpectedly tall, presumably somewhere over 7 feet. What made it truly terrifying was that his body curved in a weird way, and his hands and feet looked webbed, almost as if it wasn't human. The sight was so terrifying, the man cut off the video and ran home. But I wonder what kind of creature it was. A glimpse of God. A group of neighbors were left shocked when they went outside and noticed an eerie creature floating in midair. The figure was tall and slender and looked like it was wrapped in a shroud. Onlookers believed this was a sighting of Jesus, who had descended the earth to watch over mankind. But many are skeptical over this. Some believe it might be a bad prank. A cloak hung above a drone, although I don't really know why someone would do that. What do you think? Is it a glimpse of God or just crass humor? Sea monster. Despite technological advancement, we've only discovered 5% of the ocean, which means we don't know what lurks in the remaining 95%. So when a group of workers on an oil rig came across this creature, they were confused and shocked. The sheet-like creature moved smoothly in the water, almost as if it was floating in the air. The creature was later identified as a type of jellyfish called Deepstaria enigmata, an elusive creature with a net-like body, making this sighting one of the rarest in the marine world. Strange creature. Divers exploring Elliott Bay in Israel discovered a weird creature swimming in the water. The mysterious creature was bubbling and moving and looked like ink that had come to life. The diver joked that the ghost-like creature looked like the Dementors from Harry Potter, or Venom, the symbiote alien. But this is no ghoulish creature, although it looks like it. This is hundreds of striped catfish which have grouped. This is a common phenomenon in the marine world. Many fish species form this group to appear bigger than they are and fool predators into backing away. Blanket of webs. Is this an entry to a mysterious new world? What you're seeing here is actually hundreds of cobwebs formed by spiders living between the bushes of Nahal Sorek, the largest drainage in the Judean hills near Jerusalem. I know you're a little creeped out, and so am I. But this isn't just any sighting. These webs were formed by long-jawed spiders, which typically live alone and isolated. So this is the first time such a mass gathering of long-jawed spider was witnessed, making it one of nature's firsts. We don't know what prompted the spiders to get together, but their union makes for a chilling sight. Weird sea monster. Beachgoers were terrified when a weird humanoid creature washed ashore. At first, they assumed it was a dolphin or a big fish that had beached itself. But once they got closer, they realized the creature was nothing like they had seen before. It had a small jaw with sharp pointy teeth. Its body twisted in an inhuman way, and its leg had fused together at the knees. Even its toes were unlike any creature seen before. Many theorized it was a beluga whale, but the creature truly looked like it had descended from another planet. Sadly, we don't know what happened. It's possible the creature was fake, or that aliens really do exist. Aswang. This footage isn't for the faint-hearted. A group of people exploring a dense forest stumbled upon ghoulish creatures. The demonic figures were tall and slender, and were completely cloaked in black. To the group's horror, the weird creatures were rocking back and forth, and began moving as if they were doing push-ups. The video cut off just as one of the creatures moved toward the group. When the video went viral, many believed it was Aswang, a mythical creature with a slender body that emerges from the dark to feast on people and animals. You know, I'm not so comfortable with this mystery creature's existence. Pillar of clouds. On the border of Syria and Israel, a peculiar phenomenon occurred. A giant cloud or dust ball appeared lingering on the Syrian side. This sight reignited ancient narratives among observers, who drew parallels to the biblical pillar of cloud that protected the Jews in the desert for 40 years, as described in the Exodus. The visual similarity stirred a sense of wonder and linked to the enduring tales of divine protection. The cloud's reluctance to cross into Israeli territory was seen as a modern-day manifestation of ancient miracles, adding a truthful edge to the biblical narrative. 9,000-year-old settlement. History can be pretty cruel, and when we unearth its remnants, it gives us a glimpse into the lives that touched the earth centuries ago. Archaeologists dug out an ancient village dating at least 9,000 years near Jerusalem. The site reveals hundreds of ancient relics and signs of ancient village life.
This indicates that the society practice exchange with other society far away.
Some of the artifacts are ancient tools, including hunting weapons and agricultural tools, suggesting the villagers were ahead of their time.
Thousands of agricultural tools.
Interestingly, archaeologists also found signs of ancient artifacts used in rituals and celebrations, which shows whoever the villagers were, they lived an exciting life. Elephant fossil. In 2022, in Ravidim, Israel, archaeologists working on an ancient site uncovered the remains of prehistoric elephants or mammoths, which walked the earth 500,000 years ago. Among the findings, the most significant was the tusk, belonging to a species that has since gone extinct. The tusk measured 2.5 meters long, making it one of the biggest mammoth finds in the world. Amazingly, the location of the tusk reveals a lot more than its owner. Archaeologists were able to figure out the elephant probably got stuck in a thick swamp or a shallow lake where it passed away. The same lake or swamp dried out, carving this unique archaeological site. What you're seeing here are the remnants of humans who walked the earth 130,000 years ago. But this isn't the only impressive fact about this finding. In 2021, a fossilized bone was dug up from a site used by a cement plant. This prompted dozens of archaeologists to flock the area, where they eventually discovered fragments of a skull and lower jaw with teeth when they were digging up the site. What makes this discovery truly special is the area and age. While ancient human skeletons have been found all over the world, these remnants belong to a previously unknown type of humans, now named Nesher Ramallah, who might even outdate human remains discovered in Africa. Thank you very much for watching the video. Do like and share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to not miss any of the upcoming amazing videos. Thank you once again.